Good morning, students. Today I would like to talk about our next topic called plagiarism. Please give the heading plagiarism and write down its formal definition. It is nothing but copying other copyrighted things into our own document. Okay, so please note down the formal definition of it. Plagiarism is the act of presenting the words, ideas, images, sounds, or any other creative expression of others as it is our own creation or our own. Plagiarism means to kidnap or to abduct, or so kidnapping, all of you know that just it is unauthorizedly submitted to as our own. Okay, so whatever from intellectual properties, as I have told you last day, intellectual properties are, say, some books. Okay, some book written by authored by any one author, and we are just copying and pasting others' data into our class notes or into our note without intervening or without acknowledging their services. So this is one sort of plagiarism. Now see, plagiarism is actually an academic offense, or you can say an academic theft, that we should be very careful about it. Okay, it is stealing of intellectual property. It is the stealing of intellectual property. All this terminology must be written in your copy. It is actually a sort of cheating. Okay, so it is an offense. Now there are two types of plagiarism. Please note down the two types of plagiarism. First one is intentional plagiarism, in which the points are copying others' work, borrowing or buying assignments, cut paste from electronic resources, downloading essays, texts from the internet and presenting as our own work. So these are the types of plagiarism. First one is intentional plagiarism, and second is unintentional plagiarism. Not knowing how to acknowledge or incorporate sources of information through proper paraphrasing, summarizing and quotation. Careless copying or cutting and pasting from electronic databases. Quoting excessively. Failure to use our own voice. So these are the unintentional plagiarism. Okay, you must acknowledge when see, if you don't know how to acknowledge before copying and pasting others' resources, then it is called an unintentional plagiarism. Though I want to acknowledge, but I don't know how to acknowledge, or what is the author's address, or what will be the paraphrasing categories, etc., then it is called unintentional plagiarism. So these are the two types of plagiarism. We should avoid both of them. Come to the next concept, how to avoid plagiarism. Okay, continuing with plagiarism, how we avoid these things. You may use your own ideas in your projects or assignments or etc. Number 2, you may cite the sources. Number 3, rewrite others' ideas in your own word. Number 4, take careful notes. And number 5 is develop your own writing skills. You should know if you are taking another's idea in your assignment, then what you may do is you may use your own words. Okay, so the sentences must be grammatically correct. That's why you should have the proper writing skills, or your English vocabulary knowledge must be strong enough so that you can construct your own statement. So these are few ways through which we may avoid plagiarism. Now come to the next topic, software license. Come to software license. Okay, you have created a software, you must licensed it so that others may not use that software without your knowledge or without giving you the buying cost. Okay, so a software license is a document that provides legally binding guidelines to the person who holds it for the use and distribution of software. So we must use licensed software also, because using unlicensed software is against the law. Right software license can save our money and can save our hardware resources also. And of course we will receive the round the clock license support. Okay, now come to the next concept, software copyright. Software copyright is used by software developers or software companies or proprietary software companies to prevent the unauthorized copying of their softwares. Basically, free and open source licenses, very important, the term free and open source licenses. Free and open source licenses can enforce these copyright law. Okay, so why should we copyright our software? Because it is our own work. Okay, software development is our own work. We may protect our right, and you can protect your own software structures, hardware code, software code, sequencing, organizations, etc. So it is better to use the copyrighted software, and it's better to develop copyrighted softwares on your own. So there is a difference between licensing and copyright. See, copyright is actually a type of intellectual property protection, whereas licensing is a kind of risk control measure that can be applied to control copyright loss exposure. So there is a difference between these two. Copyright is always associated with intellectual property, whereas licensing is basically used in case of softwares. Okay, so this is the difference between licensing and copyright. Come to the next concept, very important, FOSS or FOSS, free and open source software. Note down, FOSS is a kind of software that allows users to run their program freely, and users also get the access of its source code. So that's why it is called free and open source. Why it is free? Because we don't have to pay any cost. And why it is open source? Because its software code is open to all. Okay, open means you may have access to the source code. Okay, there are several example of free and open source software. Let us see. Free and open source software of operating system is Linux and Ubuntu. DBMS, MySQL, MongoDB, SQLite. Programming language Java, PHP, Python. Internet browser or web server Chromium, Firefox, Apache, HTTP server, Apache Tomcat server, etc. So these are a few examples of free and open source software. We have used in our lab each of them. MySQL we have used, MongoDB we have used, SQLite, Python, Chrome, Firefox, etc. we are using. But the operating system we are using in our computer lab is Windows, which is not a free and open source software. I would like to tell you that we will switch to Linux or Ubuntu. We are planning to do so, but the thing is, the working of Linux or Ubuntu is somehow critical for all other users, because they are always using this Microsoft Windows, and it may happen that the other teachers or students will find it difficult to get these operating system. Okay, so we will use Linux or Ubuntu in future. Now, what do you mean by free software? Like, see, we may categorize software into two terms: free software and open source software. You have to understand the difference between these two. Free softwares are free of cost, but it may happen that their source code is not available for you to access. Okay, so free softwares are those which are freely accessible, freely used, etc. And then we have open source software, in which we may get the source code for freely accessible, and the source code can be modified as well. Okay, so please note down the full form here. FOSS, FOSS, free and open source software. And FLOSS, the full form is free, libre and open source software. So there are terms called FOSS and FLOSS. FOSS is free and open source software, whereas FLOSS is free, libre and open source software. Okay, now we may further categorize softwares based on their use. Number one is proprietary software. Proprietary software are neither open nor freely available. We have to pay for it. Okay, for example, MS Office. It is a proprietary software developed by Microsoft. Then we have freeware. Freeware are the softwares that are available free of cost, but the source code is not available. Then we have shareware, a software that is freely used and distributed for a given period of time. After that period of time, it is not you have to purchase that, okay, or uninstall them. So that is shareware. You may get this type of software in the internet easily available. You are allowed to use that software for say 15 days or 1 month, and after that you have to uninstall it or you have to purchase it. So that is all about societal impacts chapter. We'll see the societal impacts part 2 in our next classes. These are theoretical chapter. I want you to note down these topics, and of course you have to read it down more than once, so that you will get through the ideas of these chapters. Once our practical portion, that is pandas and data structure, will be started, we will have a live class for you. Okay, so thank you for today. In the next class we will see much more concepts of societal impact.